Welcome. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Gurf back again with another episode of Let's Talk Legends. We are on our third one of this summer split, and tonight we are going to be doing our power rankings for the pre-made leagues this week. So I got a few very special guests joining us tonight, so why don't we go ahead and introduce our lovely guests joining us tonight. We've got ourselves Turnips, we've got ourselves Dreams, and we got ourselves Jonesy Jukes as well too, possibly getting joined by a few more friends tonight. We'll have to see if they pop in later on. But welcome, guys, to the show. How's everyone doing tonight?
Dude, I'm not too bad myself.
Yo, I mean, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just had a wonderful day. Just studied for like 4 hours, but yo, it's chill.
So
I had shopping to do today, so
everyone's being busy.
Tired.
taking an off day. Well, call it an off day for legend stuff, but I know we've had a crazy week so far, and now just passing that 3-week mark for the pre-made leagues. Before we get into
talking about crazy days, you casted Valorant today.
I did for the first time ever. I casted Valorant. That's correct. We had a little hiccup there for production, but it all worked out. And yo, guys, I gotta say, casting Valorant, super fun. I had no idea what I was talking about, but it was super fun.
Hey, coming in clutch, dude. Right when we needed you.
It was fun. It was a good time. But lads, before we get into tonight's episode, first of all, I have to give a shout out to B-Pots because I said I would in general chat earlier. So shout out to B-Pots. And also, for tonight, how we're going to kind of do things is that each of you have made a power ranking, or even more than one power ranking. But we got a few power rankings floating around the Discord here. And essentially, you guys are going to give your little explanation of why these teams are ranked where they're at. And then we can kind of chip in on these discussions and talk about what we think about these different teams and think about how things are going to go as the split goes on. But, we'll take our time. We'll go league by league throughout the week as they come up. And other than that, lads, before we hop into this, how have your games been going in Legends? How have your teams been doing?
I mean, I don't know. I think we just had the easiest start possible to our group. I think we just got the some of the worst teams for our first 3 games. So I don't know. It's pretty smooth sailing.
And was that for LRS Premade or draft?
LRS Premade.
Tonight's Premade. Tonight we're talking about...
technically both, but...
Because I was thinking that too, but... So yeah, tonight we'll focus on the Premade. Next week we're going to be doing the same thing we're doing tonight, but with draft. So just to keep things easier, because I know some of us are in a couple of the leagues across Premade and draft. We'll just we'll stick to our... When we're talking about the leagues tonight, we'll just be referencing Premade for tonight. Even though it'd be true, though.
Yeah, I got you.
But how about you, Turnips? How have things been going for you?
So, I mean, I'm in both LRS Premade and LAS Premade. My LRS Premade team, we're just limit testing the waters, if we're being honest, bro. So honestly, we're not even trying, dude. I mean, we're all college students, so we've had finals week last week, so we've been all pretty busy and we haven't practiced all last week, so I'm not trying to get any excuses, but we're kind of into it, low key. But it was for fun. We weren't even trying, we're just doing we're flexing a little bit, just limit testing. But that's what LAS Premade, shout out to A-Ward. Me and him were the best duo universe, so we're actually 6-0, I think. Oh, we're 3-0, but 6-0 in matches. So yeah, LAS Premade's looking good, and LRS Premade's looking pretty fine itself. So really excited about that.
And I mean, we've seen Turnips Tots come back from 0-5 starts and take their way to playoffs, to the finals, actually. So, yeah, I think you guys will be fine. It's just the first few weeks, right? And when we're going through these rankings tonight, it's still early to kind of forge in stone, this is exactly what they're going to be. Sometimes we have seen those predictions come through, and they're like, okay, damn, that was pretty spot on from the start. Or things just get completely flipped on their heads, LAS Premade last split.
Yeah, and I was going to say to this Jonesy person, whatever his name is, bro.
Yeah.
He thinks my team's a C tier. This man over here acting all cocky and everything. Wait till I turn my turnips tots button activator, bro.
Turnips what? Your turnips what?
Turnips tots button activator, and he's going straight to the dirt. Just letting you guys know. I'll meet you guys in playoffs, by the way.
Oh man.
I hope to see you there.
Oh
Just
man.
gotta-
It's funny because you should be worrying about your spot, bro. Don't worry.
Dude, I'm not.
Don't
sure.
even-
All right,
Don't even
all
worry
right,
about my
fellas,
spot.
fellas.
All right.
We will get to that pool as the night comes up. But we are actually going to be starting
Sure.
with your pool that you ranked first. This
Boy.
first one.
What
which will be-
about asking me?
We will rewind for a second. Dream, Premade. I heard a little bit of news for you and Premade. You just informed me of something exciting coming up for you.
Yeah, I am officially part of Flannel Esports as the mid laner.
Whoa.
Hey,
Yo,
that's
congratulations, man. Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, their mid laner apparently mental boomed after going 0-2 the first 2 weeks. And they were going to put in somebody that's never played mid before, and I saw it on the roster changes because I was abusing my mod powers and looking at roster changes. And I DM'd the guy, and he said, "Yeah, sure, you can have the spot." So, played my first week with them last week. We got 2-0'd, but I gapped a platform mid laner game too. So,
Dude, Dream, that basically means you're platform then too.
I was plat 4 in season 9. I know I can get there. I just need to focus on it.
Dude, that's
Okay,
good.
okay,
That's good.
The team is very developmental. We have a player, the 80 carry, who's been playing League of Legends for sub 7 months.
Wow, it's like
So,
fresh
I'm
out of
not,
the gates. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not too concerned with our overall scoreline right now because there's a lot of people that are still learning League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
So, going 0-3 in the first 3 weeks partially was me not realizing that my main favorite champion can't be played mid lane ever because they keep nerfing him to oblivion.
Yeah.
And the second time, I just couldn't close the gap between the rest of the team and how far ahead everybody else was. I may have won mid lane, but I couldn't win the game. I would think I ended 9-2 that game. So.
And we also have Beanie joining us tonight. Beanie,
Hello.
how have the games been going, buddy?
I don't play in Premade, but my team is doing good. Draft, not so good, but you know, I picked up a pretty good jungler, I would say.
Oh yeah, you know what? It's making me excited for next week's talk too, because we are honestly like the draft seems to have a lot of members involved across the board. So next week is gonna be really fun when we get to dive in to some of these LAS and LRS draft teams. But I do have our first power ranking ready to go. It is queued up. I even have your name up on there, Turnips, too, so we can actually see who created these two. But if you guys are ready, we can go ahead and hop into these power rankings and see what Turnips has created for Pool A of LAS
I got
Premade.
you. Yeah.
Right.
So, yep. Is it up on the stream? Okay.
Correct.
So I just want, before I explain anything, I just want to let you know that all these rankings are very subjective. So I base it off like past performances, not really what they do outside of the games that they played, but this is just mainly like what I've seen in their games. So I mean, obviously in the S tier it's PvE. They are the returning champions. I gotta admit the roster is stacked. Even though they did lose a game to Divine, I still believe that they are the top seed in the pool. A. So I'm gonna put PvE on S tier. Next is I got my boy Giggle and Chaos. I did play draft with them last split. They kind of made their own team, you know. No flame to them. Oh, I mean, yeah, no flame to me either. Like I think they're pretty strong themselves, but especially with the F range tops and their jungler that they did find a new jungler after kicking off soft for him, so they're looking pretty strong. Next is Merciless Esports. I've actually been part of their org before. I was on one of their teams before, and I know they do practice a lot. And this might be pretty biased, but they've been on a hot streak recently, so I do have an eye up on that. Next up would be the Real Fight. I'm gonna be honest, they have been putting pretty good numbers. I don't know much about the players, but besides, I think for a real fight, I think their mid laner, I was beefy, is like someone to look out for. So I noticed that his stats were kind of insane. So I put them on top of the Monas Esports, just because they were ranked lower too. And next is Divine Ascension. Yeah. So okay. Next is LBK Chimeras. I believe that they have Vordaddy on their roster. I've known he's been a really good jungler, so I put Vordaddy. I put LBK on top of that, and then next comes Akron, and then Divine. This might be unpopular, but I put Divine C tier. I mean, basically week 2 they didn't have a game, so I'm kind of hesitant of like putting them anywhere in the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's disrespectful, but I'm just taking into account they had 2 games. They won one, lost one. Even though they did take a game off of PvE, it's still like very minimal. So it's really hard for me to explain why they're anywhere in the list. Next is the bottom 2 teams. DZG is they just came out and they just had a lackluster performance their first 3 games. Besides that, next we're gonna go up to Rodham. Apparently they were trying to go to they're going to change up the rosters from last split because they did get annihilated in playoffs. But as of right now, they're not looking too hot. I know Peakley didn't play last week either, one of the star players. So as of right now, I put them in the bottom tier. But that's pretty much explains my pool A tier list. But yeah, that's much all I have.
And you know that it is kind of surprising to see Rodham down there at the bottom. So hopefully they can pull something back because from the past, for what we've seen from Rodham, they have been a pretty solid team, especially so in the LRS. I'm sure we'll touch on that tonight. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I love watching those teams around the B tier because it is kind of, I think we can kind of have a good indication of what teams are going to be fighting for those final few playoff spots. But not to say that there isn't that potential upset from those bottom tier teams where they're at right now. There's been many times where we've seen teams like grown incredibly huge, like just out of nowhere. It's like the last few weeks, it's like, did they just win like 3 weeks in a row and secured play? Yeah, they did. They just secured playoffs. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, the PvE squad back again, in full strength as well too. The original roster from last split, so they're kind of on another level. From what I mean, you guys saw it on stream last split. Blue Milk versus PvE. They're in the semifinals. Yeah, that was
a great series.
Ouch. Yeah, Turnips, you had to play against them too. They're nuts. They're nuts, man.
They you know.
Pretty crazy. Come on.
I mean, no, they're definitely a really good team by all means. Like, even though I do banter them a bit, I do know all their players, and yeah, I'd say they're a really good team. But I mean, another team has arisen on Pool B. I was gonna say, but we'll get in that once we go with Pool B. But
that we will. Thank you very much, Turnips, for putting that together for us, though.
Yeah,
appreciate
no problem.
That.
Anytime, man.
But yeah, other thoughts about Pool A as I'm cleaning up this stream and getting the next pool ready to go.
Honestly, I have nothing really much else to say. I think everything was pretty self-explanatory for what I just explained, but yeah, I'm really excited to see what happened for Pool B, but yeah, can't wait.
All right, well, I've got beanies up here ready to go. So let's see what you've made here for us, Beanie. I'll flip it back on over to that graphic here.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up my roster sheet too, just so I can see some of these players as well too. These, honestly, the master sheets that have been put together for the split have been such a godsend.
They do look really nice. They are a pretty good upgrade from last split.
What do we even have? It was just roster sheets by themselves, right?
No, they're a part of the master sheet now.
You know what? Making improvements. We're making movements here. All right. So, take us away, Beanie. What do you got?
So at the top, you know, this definitely isn't biased. They are a 6-0 team. That being said, they did actually have a team forfeit against them, but I think it would have been a 2-0 either way. I think the roster itself is really good. I think this team just needs to put in time and practice more than they do currently, and they could easily contest PvE for the title. I think we could see something out of the bottom 3 teams in A though. because Neverland is actually another 6-0 team.
Hmm. And we
But-
haven't seen them yet. I think actually they're going to be on stream
Yeah.
this week, and we'll that'll be the last thing we finish off with tonight is the streams that
Yeah.
are coming up this week. But yeah, I'm excited to see them. And TCR has been on stream, and they've been really, really good.
And the mid-tier teams is NSG, who's like, I don't know. I look at the list and I don't really see a lot. I'm sure there are good teams, like Neverland Vanguard are pretty good, but these bottom teams just, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna win and lose against each other a lot, but if you put them against those top 4, they're just not gonna be much of a challenge. But actually, I didn't even know about this. Flannel, the 0-3 team. Dream, you are on that team. I did not know this, but you are. But you being on the roster maybe changes something. I don't know. We'll have to see in future weeks if you being on the roster really does change something. But as of right now,
Let me put it this way: if me being in the roster gets us 1 win out of 3 against Mint, then I say we deserve something higher than TCR.
yeah, well, not a lot of teams can say they've won.
Unfortunately, I have to go against Killa with mid lane, which makes me actually want to just cry. So
Yeah.
But no, I think Dream, you gave a pretty good explanation for why we see Flannel down here right now. Still very early, and especially with those teams making roster changes too, you can expect a little bit of a lower win rate around the earlier stages of the split. But I'm, you know what, hoping for the Dream diff. Really have to make
be honest.
That'll be all
Yeah,
emote slots. It's just players' names and diff below it. That's it.
Dude, but I do want to give a shout out to the Collective Resistance. They are they are ranked A team for Beanie, but I do find them a really good overall team. So I'm be on the lookout for the Collective Resistance also. But
Yeah, man, I just think you guys are on another level.
I mean, I'm on the team, so like I'm gonna be honest. No other jungler in gold. Pretty.
yo guys, it's also not very nice that everybody keeps target banning our AD carry that plays 3 champions. It's not nice. Stop doing that.
Oh, yeah.
To be the way it is, but I mean,
Literally,
you gotta
he
get
plays 3 champions, and they ban all 3 champions. Now I have to put him like Vagar ADC, and I'm just like, well,
Yeah, I mean,
Crap.
you should be banning our ADC, bro. A-Ward, bro, he's insane. I mean,
I'm very well of how good A-Word is.
yeah, I mean,
I know him very well.
anyways.
we also has, yep.
Oh, but no, guys, we can keep talking as we flip back to the desk. But that is our power rankings for Pool B there. But yeah, it's an exciting time in this Premade League. But watching the way Mint has been playing in Legends and in other organizations as well too.
Yeah.
Kind of nuts. So will we see the Mint versus PvE finals? That would be pretty damn spicy if that ended up being what we were treated with. But I think
Yeah,
you're right.
who do we cheer for if that's the case? Because we've been cheering on Mint for so many orgs.
What do
and
you,
now...
it's a Mint win. What do you mean?
I know.
I mean, dude. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Do you want to go with the winning team or the losing team? So, I mean, you can choose Mint if you want to, but my boy Bliss ain't gonna be doing good against me. Just let me know, Bliss. I've been doing with Bliss a bit, bro. If he's been playing like how he played in Duo Q, yo, you're smoked, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry, Bliss.
Wait, he trolls his solo queue games like 90%.
He's gonna troll
of the
these
time, bro.
pre-made games too. He's gonna troll these pre-mades too. Maybe because it's just always an excuse, but. Nah, I'm definitely. I can't wait for Mako to supposedly mid-diff my mid laner, which is a good joke, but yeah. Shout out to Mako, he's a really good mid laner, but also people don't really know much about Dallas jungle. I mean, he's a really solid jungler. Can't wait to out jungle him again. But
Don't know much about Dallas jungle. This dude
Yeah.
played Leona
I
jungle
know.
and Xayah jungle. We know quite a lot about his jungle, and it's not meta. How about that?
yeah. I mean, it's gonna have to be meta when we face against me. He's facing against Big T over here, of course. Big T's in the building. So.
In a couple
Just
buildings
watch out
there.
for him to. Just watch out for him to pick something like Yumi jungle and make it work somehow.
Yeah.
I'd rather not see that ever. Never mention that again on this podcast ever.
Didn't he go Zayajum against Euchre?
Yes, he did. But that was something back in season 9 as the Funnel Zaya comp, and I honestly was like, what year is it? Is it 2019 here? Like, what is happening? I was honestly I might have blacked out there for a second after that series, but that's in the past. It's in the past.
Yeah,
it
is in the past.
Anyways, I've got the next power rankings ready to go. These are for LRS now. We're shifting over to the LRS League here. And this is for Pool A, which was done by Can of Tin. So unfortunately, he is unable to join us here tonight, but he has given us a few notes. So I will take over here for Can of Tin and give you guys the TLDR of what Tintin's rankings were here. But let's see what he got for us.
Let's go, Tintin. Let's see what you got.
Initial thoughts. Okay. So at the top, he's placed Glaive, who is 3-0 right now. But no, haven't dropped a series, haven't dropped a game. Yeah, just looking like the clear winner, or the head runners in that pool. So thoughts on that so far? Have you guys been keeping up with Glaive, or do you guys know about this Glaive team?
So I haven't seen many of the games, or I haven't looked at many of the games, but when I was looking at just standings today and the games, because I was also doing my own ranking, I just don't think you can argue with it being Glaive. I mean, they only dropped one game to Team Gap Blue, but everybody else, they just walked over and they just look like probably the best team in this. But other than that, this one's kind of a mix-up, honestly.
Yeah, and this is such a big league as well too. These power rankings are going to be looking different across all leagues. It'd be funny to see what they look like across just all grouped together as an entire league, but it's that makes things a little bit more difficult. But in the A slots there, they have Kenton has put Rampage as the number 2 team. 2-week win streak so far right now, ended week 3 with a victory over YE, who were undefeated. We are going to see them a little down the line, but it was RTS, not RTT, because there's actually 2 Rising Tide teams in this LRS league. So we put RTS as team number 3 in here. Again, 2-week win streak, and they've been making some roster moves as well too, but they haven't faced Glaive or any of those other 2 teams in that A grouping as well too. So that'll be interesting to see how they fare against those other top tier teams. Is I believe it was ATIT. No, wait a minute. Who was that other one? That logo right there with the Grammy, the Grammy in there. Okay, yeah. YE.
It's called Grammys and Yeezys, I believe.
Grammys and Yeezys. YE.
Yes.
GY maybe? I don't know. So they're also 2-1. They actually just got defeated by Rampage this past week, which is why Tintin has put them there as the 4th place team. Into the B pool though, as the 5, 6, and 7 teams there. He's got FEC, who is on a 2-week loss streak, but has taken down one of those A-tier teams. CFLO is next there in the group. Let's see what he's got here. They've beaten Gap B. They've lost though to some of the 2 top teams. So you know what? It will be a little bit of an easier next few weeks for this team. I would say after dealing with those tough teams at the beginning of the split, it makes things, it evens out that scoreline a little bit. But number 7, he has Gap B Blue, which has been handed 2 losses in a row. Was able to beat the old RTS roster. And was able to take a game off of Glaive, but potentially it's the potential to move up to that A-tier roster or the A-tier list there. So they're showing some potential, but unfortunately have not had the easiest of hands dealt to them. And then at the very bottom, it's the Attack Titans, I believe that's ATIT. 0-3 right now, and have only played against these top tier teams. So again, similar situation to CFLO, which is had a rough time at the beginning of the split. might have things a little bit easier as the split moves on.
That was well said. I mean, the only thing that I had a problem with is ATIT, bro. I mean, NA Shinobi, the starting support for that, crack, dude. I don't know why you put them D tier, bro. They're literally a bunch of weebs, okay? They haven't even they haven't even put like their anime powers together, okay? Yo, I expect ATIT gonna go be A tier, bro. They're not trying. Just letting you guys know. They're not showing their true form, but yeah, no, really excited for the pool A, but I think we should get on to pool B now.
Yeah, we're
believe.
gonna move on to pool B. I was gonna follow up on some other lead comments on that, but we'll
Really
just move
quick,
on. Yes,
I do
David.
want to say really quick that I find it a little bit surprising that the former champs are struggling as much as they are.
That'd be RTT, who I believe is in pool
Pool
C.
C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not the logo that was up there? Is that not
Also,
RTT,
same. It's the same.
It's the same logo.
Yeah.
Same
it's
org,
the
I
same
believe.
logo. Okay, so that wasn't Tsunami. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So we do have that team down the line as well too. But let me just get this picture up for pool B, which
Pool
is going to
B.
be right there. So Jonesy Jukes has put together pool B and I believe pool C too. Correct? Am I correct in saying that? Yeah.
There's
Our
three
man's
pools
been
in
out here.
Premade?
There
Oh,
are
boy.
three
There's three.
pools of 8 teams. Yeah, a lot of
It's
teams.
a bit of a big.
Yeah, this Jonesy dude don't know how to rank teams. But
Wait a
I
minute.
don't know, man.
Hey.
I'm pretty confident with my.
Did you see what he ranked my team at?
Look at the line. Look at the line. All rankings are subjective. Turnips 2021. It's there.
That's true. Banter. It's just banter. It's just banter. Don't worry.
I know. Same thing.
Like, so for pool B, like honestly, I just don't think you can argue that AOE Obsidian's the top place team. Like,
Yeah.
they I can't disrespect them because I faced them so many times now since from the time they were like PvE plat and we beat them last playoffs to like now. They've gotten so much better as a team, whether it be like Kenshin improving with coaching or the fact that they brought on the jungler Matsi. Even though they just lost Skeller, I still think Esmond, K-God, Matsi, and Tin are going to be like just way too strong of a core of a team to really just like, lose to anyone easily. I think they're probably the favorites for this tournament, just like honestly.
And
Hmm?
were they PvE plat last split?
Yeah.
They were
Oh,
That
is that with
roster,
Vapus as the jungler? Is that what happened?
Tin, Matsi, Skeller, Esmond, K-God, Canatin were all on it last split.
Oh, okay.
Vapus and Nerf Adderall are also substitutes.
Okay.
So they are returning members. But also the point you brought up too is Coach Kenshin. Also, shout out to Coach Kenshin out there.
Coach Kenshin, yep.
But this is a returning squad who have been playing and working together for multiple splits now. PvE has been around for a long time, even though they are under the name of AOE Obsidian. It's the roster, and it's the gears at work behind the scenes that are really driving this force home. And yeah, they're very strong.
For sure.
Other than that, moving on to ROTM. Honestly, I don't know an absolute ton about them. They had some roster changes, like this split compared to last split. I'm not sure how much better or worse those like new players are, but if it's anything like the team last split, they're we underestimated them last playoffs, and honestly, it came to bite us. Like they don't look like crazy players, but I feel like if you disrespect them, you're just gonna lose like we did. And I think that still stands for like the team to split because they're already 3-0. They haven't lost to anyone. Granted, I don't think they've played. They haven't played my team or AOE yet, so they haven't played like either of the hard teams. But they're still 3-0. So
Very good. Again, we were talking about Rodham a little bit back in the LAS pool a little while ago, but yeah, they are pretty decent organization. Last split, that Rodham team was where did they make it to? Was it semis that they made it to, or did
they made it to finals.
They made it to
They beat
finals.
my team in semis, bro.
Right,
They beat my team.
Yeah, I was thinking
Dang.
because I was trying to think.
Yeah,
I
they
know
made it to
Regicide got
finals
the
and lost
upset
to
over.
Tsunamis.
Yeah,
Dude, it was right after we 3-1'd PvE plat, and everybody was like, "What the heck? We 3-1'd PvE plat, and then we just get fucking 3-0."
that was
Yeah.
that was a really fun playoff. So last split for
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was great. It was
LRS. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember very well. I casted all of the playoffs.
you
Hey,
were an
okay.
animal.
The dream god, bro. Just built it.
Other than that, my team, I think honestly, I think we're pretty good. I think we like have a real challenge in like trying to beat Rotom or AoE. But I think it's clear that we're a bit better than the rest of the teams. My jungler, really crazy. I think that guy has the chance to be the best jungler in this entire like tourney. Even better than Matty and AoE. This guy is crazy. I'm telling you, this guy's crazy.
What kind of playstyle do you usually end up seeing from Maru?
Oh, he's really aggressive. He's picking all of the like strong junglers. He'll play every single one of them. He can play, really, he can pick any jungler and just outclass. He plays on like 2 different teams for me. He's so crazy. He almost always wins like jungle every game, no matter what the matchup is.
That's, you know what? That's gotta feel good having that kind of consistency and reliability. That's just, you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy for you, man. That's good. That's good stuff. But what else do you got for us here as we move down the list?
So like everyone else, they're like not really in like everybody that's on the same level is like so like C tier, B tier, and then the bottom tier. They're honestly all kind of close, other than just No Fear. Like I think No Fear can beat every single team below them, but then I think everyone else in those like 4 teams, I think they're kind of around the same skill level. Like I think Ivy and Gap are a little bit better than OGI and Southpaw, but I think they all are just like nowhere near the top 3. Honestly,
And
like I don't see Southpaw or OGI ever taking like serious games off ROTM, my team, or AoE. No Fear maybe, but they got 2-0'd by us, and I was playing mid lane. And like I thought the No Fear series for us was gonna be really hard because the mid laner for No Fear had some crazy stats. I'm pretty sure he had 40 kills, 5 deaths, and 34 assists, but they just got 2-0'd, and I completely nullified him, and I don't even play mages at all.
So looking, and we can talk about this more as we pull up the Group C as well too. But it'll be interesting to see because with all these teams coming in as well too, I believe it's 12 teams that make it to the playoffs. The top 4 get those buys. But top 12, which means divided by 3. The top 4 teams each pool, correct?
Ooh.
I think
So that'll be interesting to see if what that playoff battle for that last spot, because if we're already seeing this kind of dominance from AoE, Rotom, and Unicorns, then it kind of becomes a question: is it going to be a battle for the last playoff spot coming out of Pool B?
Yeah, I mean, Jones, you might want to just be careful about being bottom 2, man. Like I know how it be down there, but I've never been there before. But I can see you being there down there.
I can liken this pool to what's it called? MSI. Honestly, there's clear front runners, and then everybody else is just vying for that last spot. That's what it feels like for this pool, at least.
I'd agree.
Oh, it's gonna be spicy to watch. But we also got Pool C coming up next, also made by the lovely Jonesy Jukes.
Yep. Subjective, by the way. Very subjective.
These are your words. That is correct.
So I will give you this pool. I do know a bit less about. It's just he needed someone to make it, so I went and stared at standings and schedule for like 30 minutes.
Oh,
But
God.
I think
I appreciate you, by the way. I appreciate
genuinely. I still think they genuinely make sense though. So like RTT,
I agree too.
I can't disrespect them. They're the returning champions. You know, they're winning right now really easily. They're 3-0 if I'm not wrong. And then I think, what's the other team's name again?
Yeah, RTT. I think they were on stream this week as well too. And it was just a straight 2-0. I know I was AFK for that night. I just peeked in for a second. I'm like, oh, RTT's winning. I turned back in. I'm like, oh, the stream's done. What the hell just happened?
It was an annihilation, man. It was a quick 2-0.
Yeah, RTT, and it's like those names are coming back. Paragon is back again. One of those insanely scary ADCs out there on the Rift. So
yeah,
definitely
be on the lookout because Dardark fanboy. He's a sub though, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
I'm looking forward to
I don't
seeing
know. I wish I could see them last playoffs, but I hope to get to see them this playoffs as well.
I'm sure they're going to be running for that spot again. But who do you got there in number 2?
So that is Decimate Legacy. I think they also are 3-0 if I'm not wrong. So it's kind of hard to disrespect them as well because everybody else's standings I think are generally pretty close. And then there's just the 2 3-0 teams at the top. But I don't think they've yet to play each other, so it's gonna be spicy when those two collide.
Let's see if we can actually take a peek ahead of the schedule here and see if there is going to be that clash of the Titans later on down the road.
Maybe week 6.
RTT versus IQ? No. What's the abbreviation there for them?
I think
DML.
week
DML.
6. DML.
Ooh. Oh, damn. You know what? I was going to say we should stream that one. But, you know who else is on stream that week? It's Turnips Tots. But,
yeah, I mean, no, Turnips Tots, publicity stuff,
Well-
bro. Just kidding.
anyways, we'll keep going down the line, though. But that'll be definitely a big week to look out for to see who kind of clinches that top spot, especially if they keep kind of trucking along the way they are right now. One of them will have to lose that night, and that might be the deciding factor between a first place seed who makes it through that first round of playoffs and someone who does not. So very interesting to keep an eye on that. I see you got Moon Crew as number 3 though.
So they beat, like, their last 2 weeks, they 2-0'd, and then the first week they lost 2-1 to RTT. So they seem like better than the rest, but still not better than the best, you know?
And thinking back to Moon Crew from last split, I mean, they were ahead of the pack for pretty much the majority of the split. It wasn't until playoffs where they had the bye through the first round of playoffs and then got the upset from RAR. So that was honestly a little surprising to see them falter in the playoffs like that after such a great split. So it's going to come down to practicing those best of 5s and getting on top of that, because again, a lot of strong teams across the board here. But carry us away there, Jonesy.
So the next team's Scuba, and the only team they've beaten is Turnips Tots. 2-0 them.
We were playing with one hand, by the way, just letting you guys know.
Uh-huh.
Yep, one hand. Just letting you guys
All
know.
right, I believe you. But other than that, they've got 2 0-2s. So I don't know. It's like they played. I'm pretty sure they played DML and Moon Crew. So they played like the 2 teams above them. So they also had like a pretty hard schedule to start off with. And they beat the only team that they played that's below them. So
Yeah.
And this is Evermore's coming in as a new team. We haven't really seen too much of them, so
Yeah.
I will go back to what I said earlier about Turnips Tots, is the fact that they came into LAS Premade last split with an 0-5 record as they took over for another team, and then made it to playoffs, and then they got the upset over Merciless and made it to finals. I was like, oh damn, these guys are popping off. So
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Let me just explain my roster real quick. We got the best top laner, top lane. Hashinshin. We have Hashinshin in the top lane. We have basically Tarzan in the jungle, bro. You said Matsy was one of the best junglers, bro. Like, you didn't even mention my name, Jonesy. Like, what? Like, are you kidding me, bro? Next, we got Sam Shade, bro. He may be gold 2, bro, but he's played collegiate before, man. He is cracked, dude. I met, like, Maryland born and raised. Then we got 808 on my mind and Liquid Courage in the bot lane. Bro, we have a Chinese LPL bot lane, bro. Like, dude, they don't even speak English, bro. Like, our comms are basically Chinese. Like, what? Like, be careful about that, bro.
dude, I hope you don't have to jungle versus warrior, bro. I really hope you don't.
Dude, I mean, buddy, you didn't even mention my name, bro. I was kind of disrespected by that. But, yo, we're basically RNG 2.0. Actually, RNG adopted us, but I just said Turnips Tots. It's pretty cool. But besides that, yeah, you can keep it going. Yeah, I'm just kind of disrespected with your rankings a bit. But yo, DT, Scott,
I will give you. You haven't played your 3rd game yet. So I mean, if you win that, bro, maybe you move up.
True. And also, Scott's in the chat right now. Shout out to Scott, bro. He said, finally done. TT is unleashed, bro. We're about to come back, bro. About to be, I don't know how many games we're playing, but we're about to go like 16-1 or something like that. But yeah, watch out for Turnips Tots.
I will say one thing I do want to say about Turn of Tots making it to the finals last split. While it was great, there were outside factors for you getting there. My team dropping out was one of those factors.
Wait, what team were you?
Olympus Gaming
Olympus.
Poseidon.
Oh,
We were in the same pool as you, and we were 3-1 at the time we dropped out because my entire roster went mental boom.
yeah. I mean, my roster kind of mental boomed. That's why I got a brand new bunch of Chinese players that don't even speak English, bro. I can't even understand them. So like, even if they do try to play me, bro, like I can't even understand them. So it's not my fault. So my mental's always great. So, actually, no, I speak Chinese, but I just choose to ignore them because English is cooler. But yeah. And no, I mean, whenever we get in comms, they have to listen to Big T. Like, honestly, I'm the head of the team. Like, look at my beautiful face, bro. Look at that, dude. Oh, I'm so pretty. Oh my god, but dude, like, what org is a picture of themselves besides Turnips Tots? Like, honestly, we're just built different.
You know what? That is pretty true. That is true. I have never seen that before. I had a good chuckle the first time I saw your logo. So
Yeah, but I'll just keep that for Turnips Tots. But go on, Jones.
Oh, dude, all I have for the bottom two. They're both 0-3. Let's see what they can do in the future. At the moment, they just look like they're by far the worst. They haven't won a single game, either of them.
which you know what? From an org like Divine Ascension and Tempo Control, yeah, IQ. You know, I would expect maybe a little bit more resources they've got over there to get some coaching or some extra sessions in, some extra practice in. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with those two teams there. Still, again, early on, all rankings are subjective. We'll see.
Nope.
We'll see what the split brings us as we keep going. But we do have the next set ready to go, which is the Friday Night League LTS. I don't know if you guys have been tuning into this, but Dream and I have been having an absolute hoot over there.
Oh my lord.
It's been a fun time. It's been a really fun time. Like, guys, I don't know if you've checked out these roster sheets, but some of these players are straight up in the top 0.1% of NA. Like, these guys are straight up insane. Like, some of the best players in North America. And
We got to watch a Grandmaster play this past Friday.
it was
Great.
It was fantastic. But Dream, you got some power rankings for us too, so I'm going to bring those up on screen for us all to see. So let's see what you've got for us here.
Disclaimer, I am no way, shape, or form able to actually gauge the power level of these people. These are these are my own estimates on what I think based on my observations as a caster and what I've seen and their match histories and stuff like that. So obviously, number one, Akuma. Oh my god, these guys are they're on a completely different level than most teams I've seen play. They could give some LCS teams a run for their money if they actually put their mind to it, but NA's bad.
Wait, really?
Anyways,
LCS teams?
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are honestly like insane. This past week we just got to see them on stream.
Yeah, they came back from a 10,000 gold deficit game 1 and won the game. And then game 2, they completely demolished. I believe it was was it Research?
Yeah, it was MRD there.
Yeah.
Like it was a 13 gold lead at around 20 minutes in that second game there. I'm just going back to my notes from
13,000 gold lead. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely nutty 2-0 series there on Friday from Akuma.
And then right next to them, Mad City. Anything that comes out of Mad City, you automatically expect them to be completely cracked. They come out with very unique picks that throw everybody off guard. And every time they're on stream, they get an unnatural buff that makes it very hard to actually beat them. And right now, they're also the only undefeated team, along with Akuma, in LTS Premade, which is saying a lot because these teams are disgustingly good. And even the teams that are down in the C tier are probably A tier if you put them in any of the other leagues that we have.
Yeah.
At the very least. The next one.
Oh, never mind.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, like, so is the cap Masters or what's the cap for this league?
It's a Grandmaster cap, but you're allowed one Grandmaster per team, but it's Master cap for the most part. MG Research is the next team. These guys, like I said, they gave Akuma a run for their money in the first game, and this is the team with the Grandmaster on it.
Oh,
This team is scary. He was doing. Their top laner got to play Lee Sin game 1 and nearly solo carried the game. Much by himself, put the team on his back, and I don't know what we expected from a Grandmaster player, but that was part of the expectations. But he went beyond that very easily. But he is a Shen Scion player
Yep.
for the most part, so we got to see him on very aggressive picks this time around, which was a really nice change of pace. And that's why I put this team at number 3, because they were able to contend with Akuma at least for game 1, which is saying something. In the next one, what is the name of? That's the University of North Carolina.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the University of North Carolina. These guys, I don't think we've seen them on stream yet, have we?
No, that'll be next week. We actually get to see UNC versus Atlas Games on stream.
Yeah.
I
do-
believe. Go ahead.
Oh, I do want to say that I do know this team personally, like in person, and I believe that they have subs because their team actually has master tier players. So I'm just gonna say, yo, be on the lookout, bro. This team is still pretty cracked. Like even though they did lose a series, but they are playing with subs. But yeah, dude, I'm surprised they're ranked A, but yo, hopefully they do well. But yeah.
Yeah, I put them at A tier because while they did drop a game, the game that they did lose was to Mad City, and it was a 2-1.
Dang.
So
So they still took a game off of Mad. That's still pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
Dang, sad, bro.
So that's why I put them next to MG Research. This team looks very, very good. I can't wait to see them play next week just to see if my power ranking is accurate. They are playing.
Atlas Games.
They're playing Atlas Games.
Yep.
The team right next to them as well. And both of those all 3 of these teams after MG Research, I think, are probably the most evenly matched out of the entire group. Any one of these teams can take a game off of each other, I'm pretty sure, or win the series. The teams below them, MG Tyrants, Your God and Poseidon, these teams have struggled a little bit, and they seem to be... They're not able to contend with the teams that are above them, but the teams that are equal to or below them, they put up really good fights between each other. Like, Your God'em, they had the misfortune of playing Research, went 2-1 against them for week 1. And for week 2, they did take a game off, they went 2-1 against Striking Vipers, which is the tier below them. Unfortunately for BS Gaming and Striking Vipers, they're at the bottom of this list because not only have they struggled to pick up a victory so far, Striking Vipers, they didn't get to play this Friday. They're rescheduled to Tuesday, I think. So they may go up or down depending on if they win their game. They are up against Atlas Games, so if they can beat them, then I would move them up. But right now, not only are they winless teams, they also don't have anybody on the stat power ranking leaderboard. So
No, I really like the rankings you put together for this one, Dream, because it'll be fun to see what happens with UNC and Atlas Games this week, to see where those two teams are with each other. I think that A ranking is pretty fair to have Ivy up there as well too, especially the performance they had against MGT over that in week 2 that we saw the back door coming through from the Wukong.
Yeah.
That was honestly incredible. Some of these games.
Oh yeah, Ivy, man, they beat. So we had an early day that 2 weeks ago. We started at 7 and we were done streaming at 8:30. The games were first game was like 21 minutes long.
22
and the second
minutes.
game was 22 minutes long, and the second game was 28 minutes long. So they absolutely destroyed Tyrants.
Yeah, that was a big game. That was a big game for sure. But
And it was a backdoor victory for game 1, but they would have won the game regardless, I think, because they won a 4v5, pretty much won a 4v5 engagement. And then game 2, they did win a 4v5 engagement while their volley bear pretty much backdoored the base anyways. So.
oh my, yeah, it's been a fun time with the LTS, and honestly, having this caliber of League of Legends in Legends, I cannot express how happy I am to see these kind of plays and to see these kind of teams coming out onto the Rift. So it's been an absolute blast casting those guys.
Yeah, and just can't wait for next week either. So, and Dream, are you casting that next week?
I cast every Friday.
Every Friday.
Nice.
It's your boys.
Pretty
Dream
much
and
the
I.
only day I can cast. I can cast Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays now because I play Mondays and Wednesdays.
Okay,
And I can't cast Valorant because I don't know anything about Valorant besides deploying Spike and shoot that person in the head.
Same, bro, but that you can't let that stop you.
Maybe I'll go play Valorant a little bit and see if I can learn it so I can cast that too.
Honestly, and this is Dream. This is a beautiful transition here because we're about to flip into the LAS Valorant as well too. This tier list was made by Dallas, but I've been tuning into a bunch more of these Valorant games recently, and even watching the pros as well too. I think tomorrow they're actually starting their tournament in Reykjavik, over in Iceland. So that is going to be starting up soon, and if you want to learn a little bit more, I definitely suggest tuning into some of the pro leagues to watch how they're casting and see what these split like. Oh my god, these guys are actually they're nuts. They're nuts. But you know, we tend to see that a little bit when we'll talk about it more as we hop into LRS, but still in a roughly plat league here for LAS, you still see some pretty awesome stuff. So why don't we see what Dallas has put together here for the power rankings in LAS Valorant.
And while we get that up, I think this is where I should take my leave since I do not know anything about Valorant. So
but Turnips, you won't be around to talk about what streams you're most excited for this week.
You know, I'll stay. I got you.
And yeah, in the past too, we've kind of gone a little bit fast over these ones too, just because again, Valorant is none of our specialties here, but we are trying our best and taking a look at some of these teams. You know, some of them are showing up as familiar names. We see Phoenix up there in the S tier group. Those are the returning
champs.
Yep, former champs coming back once again, defending their title, but maybe a little bit of bias, but I think, you know, we meme, but Dallas is pretty fair when it comes to these rankings and doing stuff, putting the player aside from what the actual stats are showing. So he's got Project H up there as well too, and that is his team, but it's honestly a lot of returning members coming back from BTNC. We saw them as another finalist team who were actually, they took down Phoenix in the semifinals, but Phoenix came back from the losers bracket and won it back in the very end. But those players like Malicious is kind of nuts out there. So
every time I watch Malicious, I feel like I learn a little bit more about the game.
Correct. Yeah, they're kind of nuts. In the A tier, we have, I believe it's Sin. Let's see what their full name is. Singularity. They were on stream last week, I believe. No, yesterday. They were on stream yesterday. And they got a fat 2-0. Again, one of those streams where I was watching. I looked away for 2 seconds and came back. I'm like, damn it, the stream's done.
I was not home while the stream was going on. By the time I got home, it was over. I was sad.
B tier, we have Lotus, which is a new team to the league as well too. I believe they might have another game rescheduled right now that we might be waiting to see. Beside them, though, is Wooney, who unfortunately having a little bit of a rough start to the split. But you know what? I got faith in Wooney, and even though they have an 0-2 start, that's probably why we don't see them ranked a little lower, because they did make it to the playoffs last split. And honestly, the amount of improvement and growth I've seen from these players has been pretty damn massive. To see them back again, and to see them always giving it their best is always makes my heart happy. So I love having Wooney back here once again. And I guess, you know, the same can be said for these bottom tier teams. Some are new, some are coming through as well too, but still early on, still have lots to prove as this split goes on. But thank you, Dallas, for the rankings for LAS Valorant.
Has Divine Ascension become the new PvE? Because they're all over all of our leagues.
They are actually all over our leagues right now. So possibly, yeah.
That was the title for PvE, because I'm pretty sure last split they had a LAS Premade, an LRS Premade, and then I believe an LRS Valorant one as well.
Yep. I would think they've got multiple teams, multiple splits. They are heavily invested in the Legends org, which is good to see. Honestly, I love having that though. Having returning orgs coming back to prove themselves always makes for a good time here. But I am getting our final power rankings up for the night, and these ones were made from and by our lovely Valorant correspondent, and that is none other than Boppin. So I will have their name up on the board in a second while I get their things ready to go. There we are. All right, let's see what Boppin's made for us here. All right, I can see this. So Alteration Esports, I personally do not know too much about. I'll go ahead and take a little peek at the standings here, but seem to be doing pretty well so far at 2-0 as of last week. They may be 3-0 right now. So that's why we see PvE Esports up there as well with them too. Just currently undefeated.
Speak of the Devils.
Yep.
Yeah, speak of the devil.
Aren't they the champions from last split too?
They are. They are the defending champs. They are.
Do we have defending champions returning in every one of our splits?
A good handful of them. LAS Premade, yes. LRS Premade. LTS Premade, we do not have UAE with us this summer.
We do not have UAE.
Yeah, just because the players are on their off season right now, school is out of session, so everybody's off for the summer.
That's fair. Okay.
They're planning to return back in the fall, so I'm looking forward to UAE's return. But yes, a bunch of returning champs: Phoenix in LAS Valorant, and then PvE in LRS Valorant. So it makes it makes for some good storylines for sure. But Alteration up there at the top with PvE as those two dominant teams right now. In the BT here, we have a few teams actually coming through. Team Spire, which has made it into the B pool. Haven't seen much from them, but currently what I see right now, they are 0-2. Not too sure how they did today, so you know what? I'll leave that up to Boppin's judgment. Maybe he sees something that I do not see. But I trust him.
I just want to say I'm a Jet main. I'm Radiant. Yeah, just letting you guys know I'm Radiant. But, yeah, never touched it in my life, but I'm Radiant. But yep.
Do you matter if he actually was?
I know,
Imagine
right?
Dream if he actually had an account that was Radiant, just like hiding out of nowhere. Just like the secret Valorant god.
They call me Tens. They call me Tens, bro. They call me Tens.
League of Legends is just your side game for fun.
Honestly, I use it just to promote stress in my life.
You know what game just happened this week? Or today, actually? Alteration versus PvE.
Yo.
Oh, and how did that go? Who won that?
I'm gonna go find out. Let me tell you.
All right, Dream, you're gonna keep digging for that. I'll keep going through the B pool here as we have Washed, Enigma, and Jump all also in that pool. Jump sitting at 1-1 right now, possibly 2-1, possibly 1-2, but looking pretty good so far. I haven't seen them yet on stream, but Enigma and Wash were on stream today, and honestly, pretty even game one. When we were watching that earlier, but that game 2, Washed, was on something else. They were on a completely different level. Fearless was kind of cracked. And if you take a look at this roster, what stands out to me is that this is the returning Brock Esports team. You got Norris, Chuck, Chester, Vibe, Fearless, Blair. Winter Moon is on there as well too as a substitute. So you do have this team that was in the semifinals last split under the name of Brock Esports. So they're looking pretty damn good.
So unfortunately, nobody has reported the results of that match.
Dang nabbit.
So I do not know who won between Alteration and PvE.
Dang it. Okay. Well, we'll have to find out down the road at some point here. But
yeah,
until then, we'll just be waiting on that. But there is all the power rankings. Maybe we'll call them this. Well, in quotation marks, soft power rankings of the summer split here for Premade. Turnips, Dream. Thank you guys for joining me with that. We do have one last little segment here to finish off the show. And it's This Week in Legends. So let's see if I've got my scene ready to go. I'm just going to get it ready super duper quick, as you know, sweating behind the scenes here. I got to make all this movie magic happen somehow, you know?
Dude, honestly, dude, the weather's been so hot recently, man. Now that you speak of it, bro.
What's it like down?
Like-
Like how it's been really nice up here for us. Like in whatever like 20 is in Fahrenheit, 28 degrees
All right,
Celsius.
yeah,
Who's in chat there? Who
dude.
can do the conversion for us?
I don't speak Canadians because you guys drink milk from a bag, but
What's wrong with milk from a bag?
the milk from cartons are way more useful. Who drinks milk from a bag? What?
68 degrees Fahrenheit is the
That's kind
equivalent.
of nice. Over here, it's been like 89, bro. Like I don't
You're
know
in
what's.
North Carolina, aren't you?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, me
I'm in-
too. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
you're in North Carolina too?
Yeah, I'm in Winston-Salem.
What the? What?
Yeah.
Dude, the fly. Oh, I don't want to.
We have a bunch of
IP
you guys.
address. Never mind.
We have a bunch of you guys in NC.
Never mind. I mean, not the fly. I mean the psych.
Nope.
Degrading. I like degrading people.
Disciple. Anyways, let's take a look at what streams are on this week in Legends. Let's flip it on over here. Monday night, we got a double headliner here. Falcons versus the Rhinos and Unicorns versus the Eagles. Tuesday is the LRS draft night. We have Wizards taking on the Phantoms, Tigers taking on the Rattlers. Wednesday night, LAS Premade. We have Neverland taking on #MintWin.
Mint win in the chat, boys. Mint win.
Thursday we have Gap Red versus Ivy. On Friday we have UNC, University of North Carolina versus Atlas Games. And then on the weekend for our Valorant, Rooney versus Lotus. And then on Sunday, Jump versus SM. So a whole whack of streams coming up this week, guys. Which one are you most excited for?
All right. Thank you, Dallas, for letting me know. Alteration won the game between them and PvE.
Oh.
Ooh, you know what? That's why, you know what? Boppin had that insight. He gave me the rankings before we knew. So that's why maybe he put Alteration as the first and then PvE as number 2. So there has been a dethroning. Interesting. But what do you guys, which games are we looking forward to most this week, guys?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Never. I'm beyond Mint. I mean, I play for Mint, right? Like I think the game's right. I know how this is gonna go. But I'm really excited to see what Rhinos and Falcon is, to be honest. So I used to be previously on the Rhinos where they traded me. So I actually scrimmed the Falcons with my new team, the Nocturnals, and we got demolished, bro. Not saying my mid lane was trolling and like wasn't even listening comms, but we got demolished. So I'll be pretty excited to see how Calsip Jr. and the new Rhinos roster do against Falcons. So I'll be on the lookout for the Monday's games.
Absolutely. We'll all be playing in those at some point on LAS draft night.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
That's the unfortunately we don't get to actually sit there and watch them.
Because
we'll be playing, but I'll go back and watch them because I want to see. But the one I'm most interested in is the Unicorns and the Eagles because those teams look absolutely dominant in Pool B. So I'm very excited to see if the Eagles will continue their undefeated streak. The Unicorns have dropped a game, but they're still probably one of the most dangerous teams in the pool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the cast that left earlier, Jones, is actually on Unicorns, so I can't wait to see him play top.
Different Unicorns. He's on the Legends
never
Esports
mind.
Unicorns. Yeah.
Never mind.
Same
I was
logo
just
though.
testing
Same
y'all.
logo though.
Yep. I was just testing y'all. if
It's
I'm
good
being
though.
honest.
It's good though. You got to make sure we're staying sharp on this. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You Gurf, you know. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Tuesday night we got our LRS going up. First time I think we get to see that. No, we saw the Phantoms last week as well too. I believe they picked up a win.
We're seeing both the Wizards and the Phantoms, I think. So
yes, actually, it's a return. Wait a minute. The Wizards, the Phantoms, the Tigers are all back on stream this week. I don't know how that happened, but it's happening. Honestly, lots of fun to be had. I'm gonna keep tuning in because I want to watch the Phantoms run. I want to see Quinks destroy the curse that has been plaguing the Phantoms for many years. So looking forward to that.
We already saw the breaking of the lost streak for the Guardians last week, so
This is true.
2-0 for them. So if the Guardians can do it, the Phantoms can do it, right?
I agree. And the Guardians have been playing exceptionally well, by the way.
They have.
With Nitro in the jungle, Mr. Game ADC, and Mega JT support, dude. Like, that team is definitely not what they were last split, so
We gotta watch
definitely excited about that.
So many teams we've got to keep our eyes on here.
Yeah.
Wednesday night gonna be a banger series. Honestly, we have again Neverland, who is ranked as one of those top tier teams, but taking on the toppest of tier teams in Pool B, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like Mint. It's, you know what? We'll
Mhm.
see if I end up having to cast that on Wednesday night. We'll see if I will do my best to keep my bias aside as a caster, but I have been loving the Mint squad so far across multiple orgs.
Yep.
You guys are killing it, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, we get to play them next week. Not
Oh.
this coming week, but the week
Okay.
after, or next week. So I already told my team that I have focus on our NSG game, which may not even happen because they're asking for a reschedule, and our team's schedule is very rigid. A lot of them are in school, so
Dang, yeah, dude.
yeah. So they might FF the second one, which is actually why I was kind of surprised that they were they were so high on that Pool B list when they've already FF'd a series, and it looks like they might have to FF another one. And they have a roster of 10 people, which just confuses me why they're FFing series with 10 people on their roster.
Yeah, and you can't just focus bans at just 5 people. You have to like look at everyone too. So, definitely.
But to round out the week, Gap R and Ivy on Thursday. We get to see our Blossom on. I believe Blossom's on that Ivy team, right? Ivy
Yeah,
Blossom.
she is. She is.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to see a little bit of Blossom action coming through.
And she's an Ivor main, by the way. Just letting you guys know. She's an Ivor main.
Oh, glob. Oh, glob. Friday night, UNC versus Atlas Gaming. I'm looking forward to that, to see how these two top tier teams face off against each other. Again, gonna kind of set the pace for those leading teams in the LTS. And again, whoever's watching right now, you better tune into that Friday game, because it is just some of the best League of Legends that Legends has to offer, statistically speaking, and based off what I've seen too. It's crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff. The weekend is looking pretty fun too. Wooney coming back too. We get to see them back again on stream, and the rest of our Valorant teams, Lotus, SN, and Jump, all brand new to Legends. So gonna be nice to see them on stream for the very first time. But with that, gentlemen, that is going to wrap up this week's episode of Let's Talk Legends. So I just want to thank you guys and everybody else who was involved in either being here on the podcast tonight or making those power rankings for this evening's show. So thank you guys so much for doing that. And any closing words out here before we...
Yeah. I have something to say, actually, Mr. Gurfy Worthy. I just want to thank you very much, dude. You do a lot of behind-the-scenes work for Legends, but I still want you to go unappreciated, but thank you, Mr. Gurf. I love you forever. Yeah, so you know.
Beauty. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate
No
you doing
problem.
that.
And I'm pretty sure on behalf of Legends, too, everyone there does support you, so yeah.
It's going to be a fun week and a fun split for the season. We're heading into week 4. No. We're heading
Week
into
4 for Premade.
4 for
Week 4
Premade, week 3
Yep.
for draft, which is why next week we are going to be doing power rankings for both the draft leagues too. So looking forward to that one next time. But thank you guys for tuning into this week of Let's Talk Legends. We will see you every single night this week, 8 p.m. EST for all our League of Legends streams, 3 p.m. EST on the weekends for Valorant, and then again back here every Sunday night at 9 p.m. EST for the podcast, guys. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. We will see you next time. Love you all. Gurf out. Peace.
Yep, turnips out. Yep, don't forget me either. See you.